particularly with people at the Asperger's end of the syndrome, trying to get a coherent picture of what's going on, they will try and control the family. And for example, I've been asked to go and see someone, this has happened several times, where I'm not allowed to go in the house. Because, and they've got complete control over who comes in, comes out, because they're so terrified of the incoherence that this will cause. One young boy who they said you can't go in, and I stood by the door and I said, he could just see me round the corner. I stood by the door outside and I said, I'm going to speak very quietly where I come in. You can come in. So that, but I have to go and see someone next week who I'm supposed not to go in the house, and I think I can probably negotiate it, but I don't want to put pressure on him. So sometimes you have to wait outside before you can make contact. If I'm going to see someone who's dangerous, I always wait outside before I go in, and what I'm trying to do is make contact with them before I invade their personal space.
Yes.
And this is self-preservation, partly.
But it's interesting because it is self-preservation on their part as well. The behaviour that might be damaging or dangerous to you is simply their distress at what we're expecting of them.
When I went to see Pranve first, the first thing I did, I'd been told he would attack me. So I stood outside when his mother opened the door and I listened. And what I heard in the house was, So I called out to him, which is basically, hello, here I am. It's the same sort of rhythm.
But in his language.
In his language. And this terribly difficult man came and took me by the hand and led me into the sitting room. Rather relief, really.
Yes.
But they are absolutely desperate to try and hang on to some sort of order, because they will say, we live in terror all the time. Terror of going over into the autonomic storm.
And the challenge, and I use that word I think appropriately for maybe the family around that person who is demanding such control in the family situation, is that there are some situations which they can't be in control of. Maybe they're ill, maybe they need to go to hospital. Suddenly they're in a situation in which they are not in control, and it is just frightening for everybody.
I think it's one of the most difficult situations of all, in the sense that it can destroy a family's completely undermine a family's life, and it can be very, very difficult to deal with. You've got to meet their needs, but on the other hand, they're going to run the whole. With some of them, the more you meet their needs, the more demanding they become. It is a very difficult situation.
One aspect of control seems to be about time, and people not anticipating or over-anticipating when something is going to happen, or not understanding sequence. Tell me.
It's the problem for some of them is they can't really understand anything abstract, but they do understand sequence. They understand that one thing follows another.
Yes.
But what they haven't got a clue about is interval.
Yes.
So you'll get a woman who stands by the door of her day centre waiting for the bus to take her home immediately after lunch, because she knows jolly well that the bus comes after lunch.
But not how long after.
But not how long will it take.
Yes.
Or another man I worked with who would go completely berserk when he saw the bus coming in at lunchtime, because he knew that lunch came after the bus, but actually there was a 20-minute interval.
Yes.
And every day he would go completely off the bend, because round the bend, because lunch didn't appear. So I said, he likes going for walks. Just take him for a walk before the bus comes in. Bring him back when lunch is on the table, and that was the end of the problem. Sometimes the solutions are extremely simple,